Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Om Shanti 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 Sadashivasam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Dayakaram Dayakaram Dantam Dharma Pravartakam Pranamami Dayanandam Madacharya Varam Om Bhadram Karnebhyah Shriniyaama Devaah Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraah Sthirairangai Stushtvagam Sastanubhihi Vyashema Devahitai Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vridhashravah Swasti nः Pusha Vishwavedaः Swasti nastarkshyo Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspatirdadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yesterday we saw Nirasta Vishaya Sangam Sanniruddho Manohridi. This much we have seen. Yadayati Atmano Bhavam Tada Tat Paramam Padam we have to see. Because the first part itself was a very involved discussion. Because literally, what does it say? It says to let the heart, let the mind sink into the heart, a kind of a vague expression which required a lot of understanding and interpretations. And in the process of gaining this understanding, we saw a couple of very important things. Is that on the most surface level of this meaning of letting the heart, letting the mind abide in the heart, meaning getting into a place where one feels more like oneself. And what is that oneself? Relatively cheerful, relatively unburdened, relatively able to face the day and whatever challenges it may bring. And to that end, we saw that everybody knows what this sense of being one with oneself is like. And it's a sense of well-being, and that well-being we saw has to do with managing many things. For this to happen, it's even though it seems elusive and kind of accidental, it is neither elusive nor accidental, because it has to do with, it is directly in connection to one's lifestyle. So the lifestyle, what you eat, and what you eat through all the sense organs, not just the mouth. So what you take in, everything, what you hear, what you see. That's why we have this Bhadram Pashyema, Bhadram Karnebhyah Shriniyaama Devaha, all this. So what we take in is what comes out. So if there is a lot of distress and upset that is coming out, then what? That means whatever, there is something wrong with the intake, because the intake and the output are similar. And so we saw that, and we saw that through the lens of Ayurveda, and we saw that through the lens of everything we take in, and the lifestyle itself, and the ashram lifestyle. We concluded towards the end of yesterday was for achieving a general tridoshik balance. The balance between all the doshas, so that not any dosha is getting aggravated or deranged at the cost of something else. So it's not just the food, it's what you wear, it's how you are, it's what kinds of things you allow yourself to imbibe all day long, that and all life long, that makes one available for this, for feeling more and more like oneself. Now, coming to the next portion of the mantra, if you ask the question, why should I feel more and more like oneself? The second portion of the mantra says, tada, at that time, ayati atmano bhavam. Atmano bhavam is that feeling of oneself. One meaning of that. The second meaning of that, tada ayati atmano bhavam, means what? What does that mean? It means very interesting meaning. It means that one is primed for this knowledge. Atmano bhava means feeling like oneself. And when do you feel like oneself? When you are Atma, when you are one with Atma. So this whole business of the mind sinking into the heart has a new meaning, a Vedantic meaning. And what is this heart? The core of the matter, the heart of the matter, proverbially speaking. And what is that? Satchidanandam Brahma. This is what is the heart of the matter. Satchidanandam Brahma. So this Satchidananda, the mind rests in Satchidananda means what? It's not that Satchidananda is a bowl and the mind is an object that just goes and sits in the center of the bowl called Satchidananda. No such thing. This is not a literal thing. Satchidananda is awareness. We saw that yesterday. It's consciousness. This awareness, consciousness is in fact the source of everything, is it not? Yes, this awareness is the source of everything. And so can it also be the source of the mind? Of course it is the source of the mind. This awareness is the source of the mind. This awareness being the source of the universe, how can it be not the source of the one who observes the universe, which is the mind? Here. So, allowing allowing myself the understanding, and this is very important, that everything rises from awareness as though, and everything resolves in awareness as though. This itself becomes a very good meditative practice, as we will see little later on, because a few verses will come about meditation. So everything rises from, sustained by, and goes back to awareness. How? Think of a thought. Think of any thought, like pot thought. Pot thought is born, is it not? Because until I said pot thought, you had no idea of that you were going to think of a pot. Pot thought is born, pot thought is means pot thought is sustained, and then pot thought is gone. Where did it come from? Awareness, consciousness. Then pot thought is, means pot thought is sustained. How is it sustained? By awareness. Because without awareness there cannot be anything, not even a thought. So here we are not even going as far as the creation of the universe. We are talking of a simple internal creation of an inside universe, an internal universe. An internal universe is a thought verse, a thought universe. Vrityatmakam jagat. So this jagat, which is vrityatmakam, which is in the form of thoughts, which is known to me in the form of thoughts. So this internal jagat, what is this internal jagat other than a series of thoughts? Where did these thoughts come from? Consciousness, awareness. What is this awareness? I am. I am. That's it. That is awareness. Because when you say I am, you are actually saying, I know I am. I am is equal to what? I know I am. So that means, what does it mean? I know means what? Awareness. I am aware of my existence. Means that's awareness. I am, ahamasmi, sadabhami means I am self-evident. I know I am. When I say I know I am, that means I am aware. I am awareness itself. And this awareness, because of this awareness which I am, because of that I am aware of my own existence. And that nature of this existence and the nature of this awareness both are what? Limitless. That is where Ananda comes in. That which is limitless is always the cause of Ananda. Always. Because one doesn't want to feel limited. One doesn't want to feel finite. Limitlessness is the cause of Ananda. So when I say I am, that means Satchidananda is already here. This is what it is. When I define myself from the standpoint of awareness, then there is no problem there at all. And here, repeatedly, the message is being given to let the mind not spin off on its own, meaning get carried away with the vritti. Pot thought is born. And then what does the mind? Mind here means ahankara. What does the ahankara and the mind, what do they do together? They say, oh, pot thought is born. Let's see what kind of a pot. Gold pot, silver pot. No, clay pot is enough for me. Clay pot, all right. So let us put a little glaze on it. And let us put a nice Mediterranean blue glaze on it. And then let us also paint some designs on it. And then let us then take it to the market. And then let us see how much money we can get for this original designed pot. What has happened here now? Pot thought is born. I witnessed the birth of the pot thought. After that what? I got carried away, and then I got carried away with not only the birth of the pot, but the subsequent sequence of pots, and then at the end of which I have become a very rich person because the pots multiplied and the money also multiplied and the painting also multiplied, and then I became a very rich person. Where is the money? Poof, gone. Vrityatmakam dhanam. The dhanam, the money was in the form of what? Thought. So this is not letting the mind in here or just to be with Satchidananda. This is getting tyrannized by the thought and then following the thought to its wherever it leads me. Let it lead me wherever. Today it led me on a wonderful trip. I made a lot of money. Then after that, another day, I will be taking the pots to the market. What pots? The thought pots. I'll be taking the thought pots to the thought market and then thoughtfully break them all off in the thoughts. And then instead of thought pot, I will have thought crack pot. Okay? And then no market, no money, and no, I'm sad. So whether it was the happy series of thoughts or the series of thoughts that led one to the sadness, what is the difference? No difference at all. Both of them are thought born, thought sustained, and then thought gone. That's all it is. So they are this, but then this is just a superficial understanding. We cannot even call them thought born. Thought is born, but where is it born? Where is the nursery for this thought? The nursery is Satchidananda, awareness, consciousness. Thought is born in the nursery of Satchidananda. Thought is cradled in the crib of Satchidananda. The thought resolves also in Satchidananda. This is where we have to understand. This is how the practice of, this is what can be called open eye meditation. One meditation we'll see starting next week called closed eye meditation, where everybody will come to the room, enough of nice long mornings, where everybody will come here at 7 o'clock sharp, and then we will start for auspicious nature, we will start with Pujya Swamiji's meditation for the first 2 days. So what will happen is that when you meditate, you will see that the deeper understanding of this is that this awareness alone is. And in closed eye meditation, when I observe the mind, I see the thoughts arising. Why? Because I am there. Without me, how can there be thoughts? So, the French philosopher who said, I think, therefore I am, was clearly wrong. Clearly wrong. I am, therefore I can think. And so, in this vast expanse of this I, which is without a second, which is limitless, this I am is limitless, a thought is born. And the ahankara and the mind, whatever they see born, they say, me, 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 me. They abduct the thought and try to run with the thought. But here the directive is to simply be in the place of the Sakshi. And already the mind is prepared to be in the state of the Sakshi by all these lifestyle changes and allowing the thoughts to just resolve. Then what happens is that I see that in this awareness the thought is. So what is the distance between thought and awareness? How much distance is there between thought and awareness? No distance. Yatra yatra thought, tatra tatra awareness. See how easy Sanskrit is. Yeah. In fact, the whole thought is surrounded by awareness. Awareness is not enclosing, thought is not enclosing awareness. In fact, thought is in awareness. There is no distance between the thought and awareness. There is no distance between the sustained thought and awareness. There is no difference between the next thought that comes and awareness. That's the first question which is understood properly. And the second question also is very important. What is the second question? The second question is that in this awareness, so first is there is no distance between thought and awareness. Second question is that does awareness undergo any change to become the thought? No. Awareness does not become the thought. Awareness is awareness, thought is non-separate from awareness. Awareness is nothing but awareness. Thought is just an as though morphing of the awareness without undergoing any change. Without undergoing any change at all. Like a pencil in the water. You have a clear glass of water and put one pencil. What happens? It will say, oh, bent. Oh my God. Then you bring one hammer. I want to straighten out the pencil. You take out the pencil. What happened? Yes. That is awareness. Awareness is like the pencil which appears to bend to the shape and the size of the thought without undergoing any change. Like even the crystal with a purple cloth behind it, and then we say the crystal has become purple. But that's not true at all. It as though appears to be purple without becoming purple. So the awareness encloses the thought, the awareness as though morphs into the thought, and the awareness, then what happens? The thought goes, awareness still is. But I am the witness of the thought. So it's not just that the awareness has morphed only into the thought, something more is going on here. Because is there a thought? Can there be a thought without a thinker? Think about it. No. No thought without thinker. So the thought is there means thinker also must be there. If thought is non-separate from awareness, what is the status of the thinker? Awareness. Satchidananda. You just now said thought is appearing like awareness. Then who is appearing like the thinker? Same awareness. Oh, so first the awareness appears like a thought, and then quickly it goes on this side and then wears the dress of the thinker. Is that what it is? No. Because this would assume like the same character in a play. Sometimes they do, what is that called? Mono-acting. Mono-acting means one fellow, one actor will take on 3-4 roles. One actor will take on 3-4 roles. He is the hero, he is the villain, he is the heroine also. So quickly he'll go put a wig and come. And then what will he say? He will say, oh, my purse is about to be snatched. And then quickly he will go and then come back with a stern look. He loses the wig and come back with a stern look back into the spotlight. And then what will he say? Hand me that purse. He's just pretending to get that purse completely, and he just shakes that woman off, pushes her to the ground, imagining, and then again runs off. And then he wears a top hat and comes, now he's the hero, and then he tells this villain. Who was the villain? He himself. And then he says, take that, and that, and that. He cuffs the air. Give me that purse. Here, my lady, I have rescued the purse from this horrible person. And then again he runs, wears the wig or some small little prop, comes back and says, my shining hero, thank you. Is awareness like that? Yes and no. Yes, we understand how, but no is more important to understand no, because in between the actor playing the role of the hero, the villain and the heroine, is there a time lapse or not? Yes. Of course there is a time lapse. That's why the whole stage goes dark, to give him the time to just quickly get into the next role. But here there is no time lapse. No need for awareness to run and compose itself. No need for awareness to have props. No need for awareness for any time, because time itself is what? Awareness. Time itself is a product as though of awareness. Time, space itself is a creation as it were of awareness. Is a projection as it were of awareness. So there is no time. No space. We already saw, between awareness and thought there is no space. Between awareness and time there is, between awareness and thought there is no time that has gone. For awareness to assume the nature of the thought or the form of the thought, and similarly at the same time, yugapat, Yugapat means simultaneously, without undergoing any change, that same one and only awareness morphs into the thinker, morphs into the object of thought. Very interesting. And morphs also into one more thing. What is that third thing? That which bridges the thinker and the thought, which is the means of knowledge, pramana. So supposing the object of thought is what? Pot. So between the thinker, the seer or the thinker of the pot and the pot, what is there? What is the distance? Sight. So that sight is also what? Awareness. Sight is awareness. Object of sight is awareness. Seer is who? Awareness. Everything is awareness. And has this undergone any change? No change to be the seer, no change to be the seen, no change in between. Even to be the sight that joins the seer and the seen. This is called the tripod in Vedanta. Triputi. I think the word Triputi the tripod word must have come from Triputi only. Sounds similar. So, Triputi. This is the tripod. Knower, known, knowledge. Jnata, jnanam, geyam. Seer, seen, sight. Pramata, prameya, pramanam. All this. Eater, eaten, and the mode of eating. All these are three things we think of as separate. But they are all just little blips in awareness. Like even waves in an ocean. If supposing a wave has three oceans that I'm ocean has three waves that I'm looking at. There'll be many waves, but I'm focusing on three waves. Then the first wave is what? Knower wave. That's why it waves to you. Yes, I'm the knower. And the second wave is object of knowledge wave. And the third wave is that which brings the knower and the known together, let's say sight or hearing or whatever you want, and that means of knowledge wave. Three waves are there. Simultaneously there, playing, going up, going down, doing their jobs, making no difference to the ocean, rising and falling, making no difference to this vast oceanic awareness in the same manner. And so you see, all this preparation we talked about yesterday is for what? Is for getting to this understanding that all that is there is awareness. And when I let the mind sink into that awareness, and it is again proverbial, what is there to sink? There is no sinking. When I let the mind rest in that awareness, and for that resting I need to be restful. Not a lot of irons in the fire, not a lot of agenda going on, because that is crazy making. It's no fun to study Vedanta and be overwhelmed all the time. What now, what now, what now, what now, what now, what now, what now? No fun at all. That is the difference. If people ask me, what is the difference if I follow this 3-month course online versus being in the ashram? This is the difference. At home, you have to do so many things. You have to go shopping, you have to clean, you have to cook, you have to do all kinds of things. And then you have to go to work perhaps. Or even if you work from home, you have to decide how you are going to work and what you are going to do and when you are going to do. All this you have to do. Not easy. And so therefore, the what now, what if is a little more. But here the setup has been specially made to sink into the course. And when you sink into the course, the mind sinks into the heart without any problem. And that is the precursor to gaining this understanding that everything, the inner machinations of my mind, the inner things of my mind, all the movements of my mind, in the form of the rise of the thought, the sustenance of the thought, and the resolution of the thought are because of this awareness which I am. And that the awareness does not lose itself because it has given birth as it were to the thought, because it's an as though thought. And the birthing process is also what? As though, without undergoing any change. This whole internal Jagat has been projected. The internal Jagat of names and forms. What is the difference between the internal and the external Jagat? No difference. Because the external Jagat is what? Filtered through and ratified by, observed in and observed as the internal Jagat. So, this is the Tada ayati atmano bhavam yada ayati atmano bhavam tada tat paramam padam. This is the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to understand this very subtle point. This is moksha. And what is that moksha? This is what moksha is. To understand that this goal of seeing this unbroken awareness as myself alone. Everything resolves in awareness, everything comes out of awareness, nothing is separate from awareness. To understand that alone is my goal. Yadayati atmano bhavam. Tada tat, it's like being given back to yourself. Allowing myself to re-identify as simple awareness, pure awareness, is allowing myself to be one with myself. This is the paramam padam. This is the goal of self-knowledge. Then of course the next question will come, how long to do this? How long should I be one with awareness? How long should I let the mind keep sinking in the heart? How long this lifestyle? How long should I keep observing the mind? And the answer is given in the next verse. Tavadeva nirodhavyam yavadhriti gatam kshayam. Gatam kshayam. Etadjnanancha dhyanancha shesho nyayascha vistaraha. You may not, some of you may not like the answer. Until when should I practice allowing the mind to sink in awareness? Tavad hi eva nirodhavyam. One must practice this restraint or this discipline, tavat, until, yavat, until which time, hridi gatam kshayam, until the mind disappears completely. This is a technical term called manonasha. Manonasha means the destruction of the mind, not the mind really. Mind cannot be destroyed. So, as though destruction of the mind stops spinning a parallel universe. That is its destruction. Because it is an objective instrument rather than a subjective tyrant which has me under its spell. This is the difference. So when I convert it into an objective instrument, then the subjective tyrant is what? Destroyed. The asura has been conquered. So let that aspect of the mind which keeps trying to run away with all the thoughts, which keeps building castles in the air, which are more and more difficult to dismantle, and which has all kinds of notions and hang-ups, thoughts, ideas, wrong thinking, everything it has, let it die. Allow it to die, because it is of no service. The only service it is rendering is like it is doing sorrow delivery regularly. Like the paper delivery, paper comes to the house every day, newspaper, newspaper comes, and without fail, the rolled up newspaper is put in front of the door. And sometimes people have really, these newspaper delivery people are very, very skilled. I saw them just throw it to the second floor also. And with the one hand, like this they go, they roll up the thing and then throw it to the second floor balcony. So, the paper service comes every day. Certain things come to the house. All right, we are used to certain things coming to the house. Postal service comes to the house. And then paper service comes to the house. What else comes to the house? Many times milk service also comes to the house. Because first thing in the morning, nobody wants to go somewhere and try to buy milk. So fresh milk comes to the house. We think it's fresh, we don't know, okay? Yeah, so it's probably already 10 days old by the time it comes to in a packet. So these are some certain things that come to the house. And so, what does the mind being kept separate, when I don't allow myself to see that it is nothing but a spin-off, and as though spin-off of awareness, when I don't allow myself the privilege of seeing that, what am I doing? I am subscribing to one more home delivery. What is this home delivery? Sorrow. Yeah, dripping it will come, full of tears. Sorrow. How nice. I don't have to go outside to become sad. Yeah. Along with coffee, along with the milk with which I am going to make my tea, coffee, sorrow is also delivered. For free. The other delivery fellows charge. Monthly charge you have to give 50 rupees, 60 rupees, 100 rupees you have to give for the milk and the paper to continue. But here, you don't have to give anything. Freely it comes. First it's a side of sorrow, and then it becomes the main thing. That itself becomes the main thing. And then you say, no, I didn't subscribe to this service. Sorry. It cannot be cancelled. So that's why you must not fall prey. Again and again we get messages to these online subscriptions. The online subscription, yes, these magazines, come on, take. And you say, okay, after 3 months I can cancel, no problem. But then how to cancel itself is, even Brahmaji doesn't know how to cancel, even though he created everything. Yeah, there is no fine print, there is nothing there. You call them, the number is either disconnected or nobody answers. They are all very clever. And then 10 years later, you will get one email. There is a class action suit because this company has done so many things for, ripping off all the consumers. This company is not to be relied on. Class action suit means that you are also part of it because your name was also included because we saw your name. Now, that means so many people have put the class action suit, and then so many people means what? Thousands of people got together, they couldn't handle it any longer and put a collective suit. Everybody will get 1 rupee. And when finally the case is settled, sabko ek rupiya milega. But before that, we want all the records that you actually paid for it. Where is your credit card receipts? Where is the receipt for this subscription? Of course, after 10 years, where will you have this receipt? Nowhere you will have the receipt. And then you say, forget it. That 1 rupee also, let it go to somebody else. So like this, once you have a subscription, many of these subscriptions cannot be cancelled at all. And so too here, as long as I let the mind fly by itself alone, I am subscribing to sorrow, untethered from awareness. The mind is never untethered from awareness, but here that's why we put the word as though. As though divested from or cut off from awareness, like a flying kite, unmoved and adrift kite. We saw that example yesterday. Like that, if I let the mind fly, then it is just bad news. I'm subscribing to sorrow even without knowing it. And how we already saw. Every fancy turns into a despair. Everything turns into a despair. That is the logical conclusion. So, tavadheva nirodhavyam yavad hridigatam kshayam. So, it is not manasya kshayam, manasah kshayam it is not. It is not the destruction of the mind per se, even though we say that. Mano nasha is talked about. That's just a title and expression. But what is being destroyed is not even the ahankara, but the tendency of the ahankara to alienate itself from awareness. That is what is going under the knife. That is what is going to be destroyed through this practice and through this teaching. That is what has to be destroyed. That is what has to be ascertained as inimical for one's self-growth, for moksha. What is moksha other than dismantling this inner duality? And as long as the ahankara / mind wants to be separate from Satchidananda, then there is already that duality. So ahankara nasha, mano nasha, manaha kshaya, all these are various words where I allow this awareness to prevail. And what happens to the mind? The mind is asked to come through the back door like a hired help. Yes. It was in the front door. Why? Because it thought that is my entrance, and it went and sat on the throne. But then what does the Shastra like this do? The Amritabindu Upanishad takes away its crown forcibly and makes it get down from the throne and then get out. Get out. Oh, you will miss me. Doesn't matter. Get out. You throw it out. And then you look around. It's still waiting. Then you take pity on it and say, okay, piche se aao. Come through the back door like a servant, like an employee. Service entrance it's called. Where all the services, see in all these big 5-star hotels, this is what happens. The guests go through the front door. But then every day things are being delivered. Vegetables, bread, all these things are being delivered. They don't want this to be an eyesore. Otherwise the guests will stop coming in if big cartons of bread and milk and vegetables are being delivered through the front door. That's why on the side there is a service entrance for all the trucks and all the staff and everybody to enter. The mind is told to come through the back entrance or the side entrance, and it should be wearing a uniform saying, I am at your service. I am at your service. Before, what was it demanding? You are in my service. Come on, give me this, give me that. Now the mind is ready to say, I am at your service. Tell me what to do. Patha Vedantam, sit and study Vedanta. Okay, as you suggest, as your order is my command, I will study. That kind of a mind when it comes to class, no problem at all. No problem at all. But this is a very painful demotion, because that's why it's called a demolition rather than a demotion, because it's a very painful demolition, because first the mind has already created all these castles in the air and these mansions and skylines of various notions and ideologies and hard calloused beliefs, and one is convinced, this is who I am, this is how I am, this is what I have to do, etc., etc., etc. This is what the mind is. To convert that kind of a mandu mind, mandu means very stubborn, to convert that kind of a mind into this kind of a flexible, pliable, at your service mind, that is a lot of work. Requires a lot of self-love, requires a lot of patience, and above all, perseverance, tenacity, that I am not going to stop until this happens. And then only it will pay off, because then only we can say this mind is ready to receive the knowledge. The mind that is ready to receive the knowledge must have undergone this transformation and must be wearing a badge. What does it say? I am at your service. Mind includes ahankara, all of them. Buddhi is at your service. Ahankara is at the service of this awareness, this knowledge of myself as Satchidananda. Ahankara falls at the feet of Brahma Vidya. Mind falls at the feet of Brahma Vidya. Buddhi falls at the feet of Brahma Vidya. And all these pesky feelings, oh, now nice, now not nice, now sad, now bad, now mad, all these feelings also fall at the feet of Brahma Vidya. Then only Brahma Vidya will bless. That is the idea here. Next one. Yeah, if you haven't seen the last part here. Etad jnanam cha dhyanam cha. Etat means this. What is this? This whole thing that we have been talking about. So, the disappearance of the mind as a separate and alien entity, that is called jnanam. This is the knowledge, yes, that this mind, this ahankara is not separate from awareness, consciousness. All that is there is consciousness, that is the knowledge. Etad dhyanam cha. This is also the means. This is the practice, and the practice is what? The practice is the destination. So the practice, the content of the practice, the truth of the practice, the phala of this practice is indeed the destiny. The destination itself is this. Etad jnanam cha dhyanam cha. This is indeed the way, and this is indeed the destiny. Why? Because it's all you. There is no destiny other than you. So you say marga. Marga means what? There is no way, because it's you. There is way means if there is a road, the road has to be separate from you. Here the road is you. The sojourner, the traveler is you. The destination is you. The starting point is also what? You. Therefore, etad dhyanam cha jnanam cha sheshaha. Sheshaha means all other talk, all other efficacious upayas, remedial measures. Sheshaha, what is that? Vistaraha, sheshaha vistaraha, nyayascha. Nyayascha means it's inconsequential logic. Nothing worth talking about. Logic means it's just a mental pastime. All the other things are just preparation or a mental pastime, but here this alone has to be focused on. Resolving the mind, the antahkarana, the entire antahkarana into Satchidananda through meditation first, through diet, lifestyle and awareness and meditation, and then through knowledge ultimately. Ultimately, through knowledge, after preparing the mind to come through the back door as a ready servant of this knowledge, that is ready to serve this knowledge, that's ready to receive this knowledge. Then this takes a little bit of a, what is that? A turn here. Naiva chintyam na cha chintyam achintyam chintyameva cha pakshapata vinirmuktam brahma sampadyate tada. Yeah, little bit of a tongue twister. So, this one is talking about the nature of this awareness, consciousness. Because all this time we have been talking about consciousness and how the mind has to be in service of this consciousness. And then in the last mantra, what did we see? Bye-bye mind, Mano Nasha has taken place. What is left? Awareness, consciousness. So now the nature of this consciousness is going to be revealed in this cryptic verse. Then we say, oh, finally we have got to consciousness. Let's see, what does it look like? Let me think about it. Let me visualize consciousness. Na eva chintyam. Cannot be, it is achintyam. Achintyam means chinta yogyam na. It is not worth trying to visualize consciousness. Why? Because it is formless. And moreover, it is you. It is you. It is the content or the nature of the visualizer. It is not an object of visualization. So, naiva chintyam, na eva chintyam. Don't think it is some kind of a big pot of what is that called? Amritam, big pot of immortality. after quelling the mind, after quelling ahankara, then you reach what? Reach into the depths of the heart and pull out consciousness. Here you go, golden pot of immortality. No, it's not an object. Why? It's the truth of the subject, you. Oh, okay. If it's not an object, why should I pursue it? Why should I pursue it? In fact, I can't pursue it, correct? Can I pursue that which is not an object? No. I can only pursue that which I can grasp, that which I can see, that which I can objectify with my 5 sense organs, or at least that which I can infer. Yes, this Kepler B something, B112, it's a particular planet in the Goldilocks zone, neither too hot nor too cold, so that once we destroy this planet, which we are doing as we speak, then we can go and migrate over there. We means only the rich we, okay, not everybody, yeah. Only the select few rich people can go and migrate and sit there. That's the idea. So this Kepler 11b or whatever its name is, they haven't even seen it. It's not visible, but they have inferred its weight, they have inferred its mass, they have inferred its atmosphere, all through the James Webb telescope. And they have also inferred that the atmosphere of the planet is humid enough and heavy enough for oxygen, and that it also contains some kind of a water, maybe ice, but still there is plenty of water available, they have inferred. So at least I should be able to infer like that. So there is, replace Kepler B with Brahman, B for Brahman, yeah. So supposing I say this is Brahman, I should be able to infer? No, it's not available for inference, it's not available for sight, it's not available for inference, it's not available for comparison, because for comparison, how many things do you need? Two. How many Brahmans are there? One. Consciousness is Brahman. So, one Brahman, only Brahman, you cannot compare it to anything else, and you cannot say it is non-existent. Why? Because you will be denying yourself. You will be negating yourself. If I say, you can't say with a straight face, hello, I am so and so, and I am non-existent. Can you say that? No. Very thought is ridiculous. Because I don't want to be non-existent. If somebody treats me as though I am non-existent, I get very upset, very angry. Hey, am I invisible? Why are you not greeting me? Why are you treating me like this? The person asks. So this shows that there is no non-existent for this consciousness, no non-existence. So this kind of a consciousness which na eva chintyam should not even be contemplated upon as an object ever. So then why should I pursue it? Close the book. Let's not go further. 5 verses of Amritabindu were enough, more than enough. Because what is this? Why should I pursue something which does not have? And how can I pursue something which does not have a form, whose existence cannot be established by any means of knowledge? Then why should I pursue this reality? May you not ask that question. Therefore, the second of the cryptic expressions are here. Naiva chintyam nacha achintyam. Nacha achintyam. Double negative. It should not be not inquired into. Meaning what? It should be inquired into. In English, when the children write essays, the teacher says, don't use double negative. In Sanskrit teacher says, for emphasis, double negative is used. Yeah. Naiva chintyam, nacha achintyam. Chintyameva. This is worthy of looking into. Why? Because it is you, number one, it's the nature of you, and number two, you haven't the faintest clue. Number two, you don't know this. That is why you need to pursue it. It is achintyam, yes, but chintyameva. See, first achintyam is not an object. The word chintyam has many, many meanings, we have to see. Second, chintyameva nacha achintyam. Chintyameva means you must pursue it as a knowledge. You must pursue this. It is worthy of pursuit. Chintyam means worthy of pursuit. Why is it worthy of pursuit? Because it is you. And then second reason it's worthy of pursuit is you don't know it. And an unknown consciousness whose nature you do not know is what? Is the cause of samsara. That is what is called Atma Ajnanam. So you have to pursue it. You cannot say, oh, because it cannot be established by a means of knowledge, it is not worthy of pursuit. It is worthy of pursuit. Naiva chintyam nacha achintyam chintyameva. And then pipchintyameva. Why? Pakshapata vinirmuktam brahma sampadyate tada. This is when I look at Brahman in this particular way, pakshapata vinirmuktam, dismantled, devoid of all these mansions, of these partisan mansions. Brahman must be good. No, Brahman is bad. Brahman is hot, Brahman is cold. All these opposing dualities, when I allow them to rest, in the earlier verses we saw how to do that. When I allow the judgment to rest, when I allow the mind that is having the judgment to just rest and unrest in this awareness, The nature of this awareness must be inquired into, but not as an object. It definitely must be inquired into as the truth of myself, devoid of all kinds of shapes, forms, names, beliefs, and free of dichotomies, free of diametrically opposed dyads. No dichotomies here. That which absorbs and reflects all dichotomies but transcends all duality. Pakshapatam is duality, dichotomy. And so that which is free of all duality, when I understand that, that is when Brahman shows itself. More we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.